I'm Sonia and I help people take their power back. If you're interested in working with me, check out the description below and be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In this video, I want to talk about some books that I've read recently. Quite a few of you have asked me for book recommendations, and I always just tell you, read whatever books you are called to read. But if you are interested in some of the books that I have read and my thoughts on them, I am just going to go over the ones that I've reread recently in this video, and there are 3 that I am going to talk about. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the complete Neville Goddard collection. If you are serious about learning to manifest, I highly recommend picking up Neville. Now, how much you are going to understand Neville is going to be dependent on where you are in your journey. And the more times you pick Neville up, the more you're going to understand what the fuck he's talking about. If you are not into the Bible, you're probably not going to enjoy Neville's early work, because Neville's early work is all explaining how the Bible is a psychological drama and how it is teaching you how to manifest. His later work is more, I think it's a little more practical. It's also, there's more success stories in his later books. You can definitely see his evolution as a teacher if you read them all back to back. And like I said, if you are truly into it and you're like in it to win it with manifesting, it is definitely worth reading through Neville's books. Like I said, my thing is, if you are a more beginner and you're not really understanding this shit, Neville can be hard to understand. He can be hard to understand. The first time I read Neville, I was like, okay, I get you. The second time I reread Neville, which is just recently at the beginning of the year, I was like, I get you, Neville. I get you. I see what you're saying. But I do feel that any person into manifesting should own this collection of books and should read Neville. The other books that I reread just recently were the complete works of Florence Scovel Shinn. And these books are really interesting. Her first book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, is, I think, the most practical of the books. Your word is your wand is literally just affirmations. I guess her other books are a little bit more practical. I think the most useful one is The Game of Life and How to Play It. At least that's my personal opinion. My thing with Florence, there's a lot of scare tactics, in my opinion, when it comes to Florence. She is very of the opinion that, like, everything manifests and karma, and like she tells the story of this woman who came to her and was like, I wanted this specific house and I manifested the specific house, but the person who lived there died and then I got the house. So did I cause that person to die? And Florence is like, yes, you did. But that's okay because your husband died, so you have paid your karmic debt. I don't think Florence fully understood what the fuck was going on, and I don't agree with that at all. At all. But if you believe that that's true, that's going to be your experience. So my thing with Florence is you need to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And this is true with anything, but especially Florence. It's just like, The big difference between Neville and Florence. Neville is very, visual. He's all about visualization. He talks about affirmations too, but more visualization. Florence is more affirmations. But the big difference between the two of them is Neville is you can be as specific as you want to be, and Florence is more, there's a defined plan, go for that. So more general. I think that both of them, they're both interesting to read. I think that they're both, again, if you are at the point where you're just wanting to see how other people believed in and functioned from the law, these are both really good people to learn from. These are people that are talked about quite a bit, especially Neville. But people talk about Florence quite a bit too. So those are my take on both of them. If you are newer to manifesting and you're not truly like true Bible-y type person, because Florence is kind of Bible-y too, not as much as Neville. This book was recommended by a friend of mine. It's called Happy Pocket Full of Money: Infinite Wealth and Abundance in the Here and Now by David Cameron Gigandi? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. It's on my Kindle, so hopefully you guys can see it. I will try to remember to put it in the comments so you guys can find the title of these books. This book, while being about specifically manifesting money, and there are some parts in it where I was just like, okay. Again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That is the most important thing that you can take away from anything that I say. This is your reality. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, knowing that nobody has the exact answer. You are creating your own experience. The thing that I really liked about this book, and I mean really liked about this book, is it made the understanding of manifesting so fucking simple. And instead of using the Bible as the base of why it's working, they're going to quantum physics and explaining it from a scientific perspective. And they do a very good job of, or he does a very good job of, there's like other authors at the bottom, so whatever. But this book does such a good job of explaining the quantum physics, of explaining the science that we do know, of explaining why all of this works to the best way that we can explain it. Right now, currently, I'm listening to Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. I've never read it before, and I'm not all the way through it, but that is also something to look into. I'm listening to it on YouTube, but you can read the book, whatever. Talking about the science. He was a physicist, and then started teaching manifesting. But those are the 3 books that I have read, or multiple books, the 3 authors I have read this year about manifesting stuff and my opinions on them. So if you're looking for some stuff to read, hopefully that will give you some ideas. Let me know if you want me to keep you posted on the books that I read on this topic, and I can do that. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light.